Oh, now it's coming down. I did not want that to fall. Let's see what we can do. Oh man, my mount, my everything's jacked up right now. You're fixing to see some stuff though. We got a chain hooked to the. There's. You don't even know how this is going to turn out. Got a chain hooked to a truck in the front with this truck trying to go up on a ramp. Let me show you the whole setup. You got to see how janky this shit is because the front truck moves. It's like all up on a wing and a prayer and a cable. I think that's going to be pretty good. So that you can see how the whole thing is going to jump when this is shit-tastic. He had there we go again with the floor jack. He's got a floor jack on the trailer. He's going to jack up the thing. I think he's trying to get over the humps. I don't even know on this one. Somebody might die in the making of this video. I hope that dude right there, man, like, what are you gonna say? This is some back row shit right here. Oh my God. I wasn't planning on exactly showing this. I got stuff to talk about, but this is a good intro. This is some, I mean, look, I don't blame somebody for trying, but jacks are for the ground. If you're on the ground, like he's gonna punch a hole right through the wood on that thing, trying to pick up a couple ton engine, and it's at an angle. So it's multiplied the weight because he's almost picking up the entire vehicle by what he's doing. So it's kind of crazy because he got somebody else in the truck and telling him, hey, you know, mash on it. And now it's sitting on a jack. The jack's rolling. Trailer moved a little. I'm leaving my air running for a bit too. Sorry about the noise. I got to cool this thing off and make sure it's good and cool before I shut it down. But so, okay. So there's a chain, if you can't see it, a thin rope of a chain holding his truck to that thing, and nobody's in his truck. His truck's moved. It just moved. Maybe it's still in drive, or is there somebody pushing that in that truck? There's somebody in that truck too. They're pulling up on the trailer, but only one side is up on the fender, and it's on a jack at the same damn time. So the truck's on a jack, the jack's rolling. The left steer tire, that's on the trailer. The left steer tire is up on the fender. The right steer tire is on the deck. When it goes down, it's gonna go thump on the frame of this truck, and it will never go no further past that, and he'll be stuck. Like, watch how it drops down in his. That chain has got a hook on it, and they're asking a lot of that hook. Okay, so check this out. Let's watch how it thumps down though. You gotta see this shit. It's gonna wham! And then fender's probably gonna touch the tires at that point. Because the full weight of a F450, we're gonna see. Oh, it's still up on the jack, and it's rolling with the jack. Boy, he's in a dangerous position to be in front. And so this is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I had in mind for a video. I got some stuff to talk about. I will get into it, but I would not attempt this. Don't try this at home. Anybody that wants to pull a trailer. There goes the fender. Boy, howdy. So now he let it down off the jack. if you had seen it earlier, the whole trailer was jacked up in the air in the front. I thought it was going to slam down even to the ground. We're going to see how this works out. They're trying to haul a very heavy truck on a very lightweight double axle trailer. So yeah, it's made for maybe a car, but it's not made for that. Those tires ain't even ready for that shit. I just seen something worse than that a minute ago. This dude had a pickup truck and a full trailer with an 18-wheeler container on top of it, like a shipping container, at this same place. So yeah, I think it's something to do with this town. Everybody's crazy. And then I had to wait for the Amish people to walk across the parking lot to get into a bus. The Amish people on a bus. I don't know how that works out. So it's gonna roll. It's gonna roll. You gotta stop that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wake up, people. Wake up. It's in neutral. They left it in neutral on the trailer. Now they're gonna pull it up with the one in front. Please don't go over it. Whoa. Yeah, you gotta put it in park or emergency brake, either one. It's like watching the Three Stooges, but better. But you know, man. Now the one in front is able to move back a bit. Let's see if I can get that straight. Hold tight, I'll get this worked out. There we go. Yeah, it's so heavy, and they've got one of them rims back there ain't even made for that weight. It's an aluminum rim that happens to be the lug pattern, but it ain't right. But anyway, they need to, that thing needs to, I don't know. I'm gonna shut this thing off and we'll talk about it. I got other stuff to talk about. It ain't really this. I just happened to see this and was like, what kind of get it home mess is that? It's I don't even know. I'm gonna give this truck another minute to get good and cooled off, get some people in the room. Now he's gonna jack the trailer. What are they doing? Oh, that's so he don't have to crank it up, because now it's too low to hook to the truck in front. This is how are they gonna lift up the tail? Okay, the ramps, y'all can't see the ramps, but the ramps, there's no room to flip the ramps up because the truck sticks off the back of the trailer too far. It's going to be too much weight on that back axle, because when they lift it up and put it on the, okay, look at the hitch. The hitch on the truck in front is higher than level. So all the weight is going to be on the very, very back axle tire. And that's the one with that cheap aluminum rim, but those tires are going to blow. I don't care if you could have 10 ply tire, 14 ply tire. That size of a tire. So I don't know, maybe they're just going across the street with it. I doubt it, but, you know. They're beating the wrecker, though. They did not have to pay for the wrecker fee. So that's the premise of my channel, is beating the wrecker. This is beating the wrecker hard. This is beating the record the hard way. When life gives you a deck of cards and you're missing a couple of aces. Oh man, let me shut this thing off. Maybe it won't get too hot. Hold on. That way I won't feel like I'm yelling over everything. So when life gives you a deck of cards and a hand that ain't right, Man, I hope that thing don't slip off. Get away from that thing in case it slips off. Oh, Lord. Wow. So anyway, yeah, they're making lemonade over there out of the lemons they were given. So I can't blame them. Man, he don't even realize if that he's trying to make it go lower. Oh, the jack won't go no higher. Oh, right. They're gonna have to put some blocks under the jack stand. It won't lift up no higher than that, bro. You got nothing. It's moving. If it slips off that jack, somebody gonna get killed. He's standing way too close to it. It's gonna break his leg. Man, if that thing falls and breaks his leg, I'm gonna have right here on live for the doctor to know how to put him back together what broke off. Just saying. This is some mess, man. I'll be glad when they're done. I don't know about y'all, but I'm nervous for them. See, there it go. You know, and that could have been his leg. You see how it just did whatever the hell that was? That's dangerous as shit. You got to have what's called a drop, what do they call them? A drop spindle? No, drop, that's a spindle. A drop hitch. But a drop hitch would break off that much weight, I think. Man, if it slips and falls in his leg, please don't break this guy's leg. There you go. Get the hell out of the way, bro. God, dog. They do everything at a truck stop. I'm just saying. It's just like, let's do this and try this. It slipped off again. So how's everybody doing? I'm just I had something to talk about. This happened. This is some janky shit right here. This is some, I don't even know what to say. Hope it works out. I hope he gets the hell away from that trailer before it falls again. That leg right there. Right leg, I'm calling it. I'm just saying. It's no good. Oh my God. Oh, he was letting it down, but it slipped off. That jack's had a bad day. It bent the plate on it. Wow. So people, the pit crew is on the job. And I'm gonna talk about some stuff here. So, all right. I already knew what was going on. This is basically I got a couple things to talk about. I already knew what was going on with the Air Force videos of or Navy, you could say Navy videos too, but the Air Force admitted to it too. But basically the internet is chattering about how the Pentagon released and unclassified videos that some people have already seen them. One guy had already did a talk circuit about them or whatever. The pilot, the Navy pilot, he was allowed to talk about them, and it was on you know, FLIR radar and all that. There was a bunch of them, and so to get into that, the ones that they released, it was a big thing for the government to admit. And what they said it to a Popular Mechanics magazine. They did an interview or let it out or whatever, I guess. Or Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, one of those two. And said that the United States government is currently in possession of a craft that is capable of space travel and that is not from this planet. Okay, that should be like mainstream news and everywhere, but they don't talk about it. They just glanced over it. And a few people have chattered about it and said, hey, look, this should be. I already knew about it. I put a playlist together with the, Art Bell and others and UFO and talking about full disclosure because they haven't had full disclosure. Well, I had already put up the video of the pilot where he goes to these, put a link up to other people's videos. I mean, but it was the pilot that did an interview in different places, a couple of them, just to get it out there to say, yes, I was the pilot of the Navy aircraft. Me and the other guy went and chased these down, the Tic Tac. That's the Tic Tac. It's 40 feet long, 40 something feet long, so it's a big damn Tic Tac. You wouldn't want to try to bite that, but big white Tic Tac, 40 feet long. It's what some people call the cigar shaped one. Okay, so that is the cigar shaped one. Well, here's the thing. They said yes, that's legit. So the United States government admitted to that, evidently. They also admitted to having a craft. That's not good enough for me. Now, I put up all those links and made a playlist, and I'll put a link up to it on here of everybody else's stuff about it. That's not good enough for me. I'll tell you why. We know that there is a satellite that's in a polar orbit. Before we could even do any kind of orbit, much less a polar orbit, we didn't know how to do a polar orbit, okay? We do now, but we didn't know how to do a polar orbit. But see, if we do a polar orbit, people don't get to use that really if it's a satellite that gives them transmission, because half the time it would not be over you, over your country. It would be a waste of us, except for to get, intel to do a polar orbit. There's the Black Knight satellite that you may not know about, that some people say that that's where Nikola Tesla was getting a transmission from. Other people are getting a transmission from it. It's a transmission that they can track it, but it's like sometimes it's there and then whoops, sometimes it's not. It's like not even every night, but it's supposed to be in a polar orbit, so it does some weird stuff. It almost like disappears for a day and then comes back or something weird. So maybe it just transmits every other day is what I've come up with. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because I don't think that they would have a craft always disappearing and reappearing and put it in orbit of our planet to spy on us or whatever. But it's up there. And NASA said, and they made this clear, that they were talking about trying to move it, trying to take it out of orbit so it's not a danger to their shuttle, because there's even video of it from the shuttle. And then they want to say, oh, it's a blanket that covers this. No, but they know that that's BS, because it don't even look like that. Nothing looks like that thing. Okay, so all right, that's the Black Knight satellite. Then there's the Tic Tac, and then there's what you would typically think of as a saucer-shaped craft. Okay, when you think of UFOs, those three things. And then there's the triangle one, but just leave the triangle one out of it. Okay. Here's why I'm saying that they need to disclose a lot more. Technically, if you say, okay, we're with the government, we admit that these videos are real and that we did a lot of research and that we also have in our possession a alien craft. Alien craft capable of space travel does not mean that people can fit inside of it. Now, they've been also looking in this zone around the Earth that if you put something there, it'll float around and stay in orbit for like millions of years. It's for that, it's like a Goldilocks zone for that. And you don't never have to worry about pushing it back up out of lower orbit like our satellites are. They were having the shuttle pushing back up every once in a while. Well, we don't have a shuttle program anymore unless you count the X, program, the other shuttle. So if they wanted to clean up that part of space, and if they were talking about taking down the Black Knight satellite, maybe that would explain the exact reason, the exact mission behind the X plane that the NASA's twin little brother that the Air Force has, that is a shuttle, but that is an unmanned shuttle that they sent up and was going around and around for, I don't know how long it went around. I don't know how many months. I think it was close to a year or something, or a couple years that they had it floating up there. So maybe its mission was to grab the Black Knight satellite and bring it to Earth. That's highly possible. That would give them a craft. Or on the Tic Tac video, yes, they had the Tic Tac video of the Air Force, the Navy fighter jets chasing down these things, but when the guy told about it, his story was this. He said that there were about 30 to 50 of those Tic Tacs that they had been tracking for days and days before they ever had a plane up in the air that could go and try to rendezvous and see what the hell's going on. They had been tracking that many multiple bogeys on radar for days. So they could have easily shot one down that day, or a week before, or a few days before, or a day after those pilots came back. That was not the only event. That was an event that they admitted to, that they showed on video and that kind of thing. They didn't know whose it was. They didn't think it was Russian. They definitely thought it was from out of this world because of the G's that somebody would have. It had to be unmanned because it was going too fast, ballistic speed, past ballistic. So a person would have been liquefied, even in a pressure suit, you know. So those were probably unmanned, but they're not from here. They're not from the neighborhood. So I think it's likely that both of those events could have happened. They could have shot a Tic Tac down, or 5 or 10 of them. They could have, because one of those could detect movement but wouldn't expect a blast in its zone that would knock it out. They could have captured the Black Knight satellite and brought it down to Earth inside of that other shuttle we have, the unmanned drone shuttle that the Air Force runs. Or they're finally admitting that the very first report that the Air Force put out, which is like, I think it's the Army, Air Force, whatever it was at the time, let out about Roswell, that they said, we have recovered a flying disc. Like a alien, you know, saucer. So with them saying that they have something capable of space flight, they're not admitting to a spacecraft that a being could be in, or they would probably also be talking about the beings that were in it. I think they shot down probably 4, 5, or 10 Tic Tacs. I think they've taken them apart and seen all they could with them, said, well, we're not even ready for the propulsion. We've got the propulsion. We're not ready for the technology. We don't know what kind of scanning or whatever it can do. And it's all, and they were all, by the way, they're not just UFOs, they're USOs. They're unidentified submergible objects. There's a difference. Okay, and they'll even call a regular UFO a saucer that if it goes underwater. And I guess they all can. They see them coming out of lakes. They see them, you know, all that stuff. One went straight into a lake and there was no wreckage and never came up. And this one guy talked about it. So basically them admitting to the fact that we have craft from another, not from our neighborhood, from some other galaxy or from whatever, you know, they want to say. They didn't speculate on that. They just said that it's capable of space flight and that it's not from this planet. Does not mean that they have little green men or whatever they look like, grays, whatever, on a craft, and that they got that craft, that a person, if they were small enough or for whatever size it is or whatever, could fly in it. All of it could be either a satellite that was dropped into that Goldilocks zone I talked about of orbit that could just float around forever, or it could be the Black Knight satellite, or it could be one of the 50-something Tic Tacs they were tracking. They could have blown up a bomb in the middle of them and knocked a few of them out and then recovered them later, you know. Then it could also be the Roswell incident or a whole nother incident. So I'll try to find a link to that Popular Mechanics or Popular Science, whichever one of the magazines that they were talking about. Someone that I talked to said that it can be found on the internet. A lot of other people, or I'm sorry, a few other people are talking about this, but they need to make it mainstream news. But just because we have something that's from somewhere else does not mean that it's anything except for a satellite, or what I would call a drone that's coming to do recon on our planet. Yeah, it's from somewhere else. It's probably not manned, or if you call it that, from alien life. And it's probably, it's more likely it's the Black Knight satellite. And I'd like to know, I'd like to get my hands on that thing and work on it. I got to be honest with you, people, that's where I'm at. That's where I've always been, is if they ever find any alien spacecraft, I'm not Bob Lazar. I'm not that other guy. I could keep my mouth shut. I talk about a lot of stuff on here, but I would love to get my hands on something from somewhere else and show them how it works. I would love to do that. That would be, especially because, you know, they got unlimited funds. Black budget money. Throw some money my way if you need a good mechanic. I've got videos that shows that I can fix anything. So I'd love to get my hands on whatever it is that I don't care if it's a satellite, I don't care if it's an actual craft that flies. I'd be just as happy putting my hands on any of it. As long as it's not too radioactive, if I can check it out with a Geiger counter before I touch it, and if they can tell me that other people have handled it and they seem to be living fine. So there's that. That would be a job, that'd be my bucket list, that'd be a job of a lifetime. So anyhow, I'm gonna check out some comments real quick. They about got this janky operation finished up here. They're doing some chaining to the back. Let's check out the comments because I can't see them until I touch the button. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. What if we're trying here? The trailer going sway too bad. I'm gonna get it rolling on the interstate. Yep. And then I was live, and then I wasn't live, and I don't know what happened with the stream. Probably me hitting the button. So, they're taking pictures from the front. That's hilarious. I got video of that mess. They just don't even know it. They're gonna be famous. So, yeah, this was brought to you by hopes, dreams, wishes, and ball bearings and gauze pads. Like Chevy Chase said that in some movie, and this guy told me, he says, I can fix anything. He says, all I need is some ball bearings and gauze pads. I'm like, what did he say? Ball bearings and gauze pads. So yeah, this was brought to you by ball bearings and gauze pads. That's and it's coming to an interstate near you. So if you're trucking right now and you see this janky shit going down the road, be careful around it. It's sketchy at best. Expect tires to explode. Maybe they won't go that far with it, but the way he's wrapping that chain, I think he kind of wants to go somewhere with it. It's a hot mess, this damn thing right here. I think that the one behind them is a heavier truck than the one in front, because the one in the back is a Ford F450. The one in the front is just some other kind of dually that doesn't even have like the ox body on it. It's not even a crew cab. So there they go. They're famous, right? Know what I mean? So, wow, what's left of that? I guess they're gonna walk behind it and catch it. Wait for me, I forgot. What can you say to that? All right, so anyway, people, so back to what I was talking about, because it's a big deal that they released that the Pentagon admitted that, but all they're admitting to is a craft. So I think they went up. I think they got the black satellite. I think they also shot down a couple of Tic Tacs, and they might have even had a crash, plus the ones at Roswell. Plus, so they could admit to multiple crafts, but I don't think they wanted to go that far to scare the hell out of people, like to make them think that there was just now a bunch of multiple craft. So, anyhow, I've got links. Like I said, I've got a whole playlist. I think I made it public the other day, but if I didn't, I will put a link to that playlist in this video where the Navy pilot tells about the whole experience, and where they show the video of the Tic Tac in a different video. They show the actual video of the camera off of the jet fighter locking onto the target and then going round and round with it, and then it zips out of the way. And then I forget what other video links I put up, but there's a lot of people who have seen unidentified flying objects. This now is an identified flying object. They have identified it as being from another world. They can't say, oh, well, it's one of ours, or it's one of Russia's, or it's one of China's, or whatever. And then there's the whole thing with China. This is odd, and I wanted to bring this up. All of China's nuclear scientists are quitting. They're quitting the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, like the CCP virus, that they made sure we got. Well, thank you, China. Just like their cheap metal, it's awesome. So, the CCP is the government. You have to be a part of the government to be a part of that. So I don't know if they're leaving China. I would think they would have to. I would think China would maybe kill them or put them in with the Uyghurs and then test their blood and see if they're matches for their we'll come kill you and take your organ harvesting program. They got hospitals waiting for organs because they're so good at it, and they make a lot of money from people that need organs, and they can match you up today. So instead of just Uyghurs, maybe they're using the scientists' organs also. They need to quit killing the Uyghurs. They need to quit killing all of their indigenous population. They need to give Tibet back to the Dalai Lama. There's a lot of things they need to do. And they need to leave Hong Kong alone too, but then there's that. But, so, the last thing that happened before World War II was all of the scientists wanted to get the hell out of Germany. The last thing that happened at the end of World War II is all of the remaining scientists, who were also Nazis, wanted to leave the country. And we needed their tech on the V2 rocket, so, it became the German team in NASA. And let's have some light, because they just turned on the lights. So, I'm looking at it like, I think that China's gearing up for something big, or they know something's being geared up against them, or something. And that's why all of the Chinese scientists are quitting and getting the hell out of the country. Because let's face it, they're not going to quit the CCP and still just live in that country. That's not going to happen. And nuclear scientists are not born every day. So it's a really odd event that's happening right now in China. All of the nuclear scientists quitting. Because somebody has to watch over all of their nuclear missiles, all of their nuclear armaments. Somebody has to be able to understand it and watch over it, and know how to fix a problem if something goes critical. I mean, it's millimeters of an inch of an accident waiting to happen, because it could go super critical. And any of that nuclear material, touching anything, leaking out, touching anything, could react. And I don't really trust Chinese technology to keep something for a very long time the way they thought it's supposed to work. I just don't. It's shit-tastic is what it is. It's a mimic of what other places do. They're well known for stealing people's intellectual property and their inventions and copying it and reverse engineering it. And if I can find a video of that, I put that link up where they took a Navy submersible vessel that was made for something, some kind of radar something. They went behind the Navy ship, they took it out of the water, and then we were like, hey, give us our stuff back. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was even privately owned, but I think it was Navy. But anyhow, whatever. I think they reverse engineered that shit. They copy everything, and then instead of Nikes, you wind up with, you know, Wikes or Schnikes or whatever. And they sell them, you know, and they smuggle them over here. But a lot of the knockoffs are sold in like Taiwan, that kind of stuff, you know, and they'll even fake stuff now. They're not putting their own country on it. They're making stuff in China and they're putting made in Taiwan so that people will still buy it, because nobody wants to buy nothing from China because they think it's got coronavirus on it, and because of what they did about spreading it, and people are boycotting the whole damn country. And somehow it affected Japan's economy's gone to shit, even though they're the best ones doing. They listen and they don't sneeze on other people and they wear masks. People trying to figure out what they're doing right in Japan, they just go by the rules, that's all. So going by the rules, they're having a better outcome of this outbreak than everybody. There's no wondering the reason or rhyme about it. They just understand. They bow and they don't shake hands. They stay away from each other. They stay home if they're sick. So I'm having some this Gold Peak green tea and chilling out. And like I said, I just wanted to bring that up, that I was on top of this a long time ago about the Tic Tacs and about the craft that we got going on. But I'm breaking it to you that I believe it's the Black Knight satellite. And I'm telling them right now on this video, if you need help working on it, let me know. I'd love to get my hands on it. I will need some tools. That's all I'm saying. A few specialized tools I'd have to have made. But yeah, you might want to ground that thing too, because if whoever is working on it, you might want to ground it. That means hook a cable to it, a jumper cable, and hook it to a copper lead that goes about 20 to 50 feet in the ground, so the static electricity and the magnetic field don't kill you. Might want to do that. So if it's been zapping people, maybe I am the guy to work on it. Maybe I'm the one that told them how, hey, guess what? You know what? That kind of stuff will make a magnetic field that makes enough static electricity to stop somebody's heart before they even know it was stopped. And then start it again and then stop it again and take them out. Anyway, I know a couple things, you know. So it's the same as Highline power lines. And I'm seeing I got 3 people in the room, and I got a few likes there. Appreciate the 3 likes. And I'm not going to be long on this thing. It's been a day and a half, and it started 3 weeks ago. That's all I'm saying. There's a cigar involved in a minute, and I'm going to smoke the hell out of that cigar. That's what's happening. That's what's popping. So it was nice of the Pentagon to tell us what we already know, but the fact that they admitted to it makes it not a UFO anymore. It makes it a IFO, or maybe a ISO if it came out of the water. So those 2 terms are new. I just gave them to you, the IFO and the ISO. That means identified flying object and an identified submersible object. I just coined those. You might want to use them. And there'll be a bunch of people doing it, I'm sure, because they usually take my stuff. They like the CCP virus so much that they made it go viral. And so I came up with that about the same time. Maybe somebody else came up with it. Who knows? But I think I was first, but I can't claim it because, you know. But I've put a few things out there. I make up my own hashtags. So you could use the hashtag IS or IFO or ISO, identified flying object or identified submersible object. And the fact that they admitted to it says they have it. Since they have it, if they're not working on it, I ain't gonna say bring it by and put it in my garage. I'm just gonna say, you could let me know where it's at, I'll fix it. It's all good. Or I'd like to work on it and help you reverse engineer it. I could do it. Other than anybody wants to say nothing, if anybody's got any doubts of that, I got video to prove it. So, let's see here. Oh, and I still got to find my tunnels too. I got to put that on that Art Bell and others. And I'm sure I got comments. I got to get into my comments here. Let's see, live chat. What did I do? Let's see. There we go. Let's see. I don't know. Welcome to live chat. So I'm in here. So, like I said, anybody wants to say anything, go ahead. If not, I'll be getting off this thing in just a few. I'm gonna light up a cigar. I'm about, like I said, about ready to end this day. I got a little more to go, but that's that. You know, what can you do, right? I'm trying to feed America right now. I'm currently engaged in commercial transport. How is it they say it? If anybody messes with you, you can call a federal marshal. If you're engaged in interstate commerce, there you go. We're going to the dark side for a minute. I hope everybody's still doing okay, but yeah, I ain't lying. I see. Yeah. Yeah, you start talking about interstate commerce. So no, I think when I was talking about the Pentagon releasing that they had one captured, I think that's what shut me down. They're just a little bit lagging. They're a little behind the live stream. They have to start listening to it and say, hey, should we be cut him off? So yeah, well, they let me back on. No, it's some weird stuff, man. I have this thing on my phone that allows me to kill apps and then another thing that does a cleanup and stuff, and I had to use both of them 2 times. The first time it cut off my phone, I used it. Then it cut my phone right back off again, and it may cut it off again. If it cuts it off again, I'll just leave it here, but and I'll just be done with this live stream. But anyways, what I was saying is, if you're a trucker and you are currently driving an 18-wheeler, you are engaged in interstate commerce. No one can legally stop you from your job. No one can stop you, especially during this coronavirus shit. But I'm saying no one can stop you from being engaged in interstate commerce. It's in the green book. And if they do, and they don't have a real good reason, okay, you can call the federal marshal and ask for help. No one can block you, get in your way, stop you, not even the people on the dock. If they're holding you up for any crazy amount of time and you really want to push it, you call the federal marshal, they'll say, you got 30 minutes to have this off this truck, or he's leaving with it. You know, that's how that works. You cannot, and they'll arrest them. You cannot hinder someone who is engaged in interstate commerce. It's a federal law. You have a federal license in your pocket. Take a look at it sometime, okay? Everything you sign is a federal document. So there's that. So you already work for the government. They might as well, I already work for the government. They might as well at least pay me real good and have me fix their alien craft that they found that they don't know what the hell they're doing with. And it's okay that they don't know. Look, there's people that don't know how to work on trucks. I'm trying to help them with that. I would love to get my hands on something like that. I'm telling you, I don't care how broke it is. You can say, well, it's got, man, the guts are hanging out. I don't care. Give me 6 hours. Give me 6 hours to talk to it. I'll make friends. So, it's got me about laughing and coughing. I'm not covered up, by the way. I'm about to have a cigar, though. That's happening. Let me grab one of them. It's going to be blackout from now to the end of this video. So, and something happened where I think something went into my fan. I think a little receipt from maybe a washout or something funky went into my freaking air conditioning fan. So, I'm going to get to mess with that later. I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm going to shut this thing down as soon as I get it cooled off enough from Chili Willy, and I'll fight that battle later. Hold tight. Let's find a cigar, man. That's happening. That's happening. It has been a day. Let's see what we got. There's one in here somewhere. I'm guaranteeing it. And I just saw it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, hell yeah. That's the cigar right there. That's what I want. Just what actually what I want. Got the ashtray. Yeah. You can chat about anything you want at this point. It's become an open video. They want to shut it down, I'm opening it up. So we'll sit y'all right here. Move it over to here. And I think it's maybe it's time to have a Macanudo. It's Macanudo o'clock. In case you don't know what time it is, that's what's up. That's what time it is. And I don't know. You never know. Next week I might not be driving a truck no more. Might be working on some highly classified, or identified flying or submersible object. So, if you're just joining us, the good part of the video is already over. No, actually, there's a couple more things we could talk about. I'm trying to figure out if China is flooding their own people. I know that they have made a concerted effort. They made an effort to not let Wuhan become damaged, because that's where they actually have a army, a secret base. They've got the 2 Wuhan laboratories that are the, biosafety lab 4, level 4. 2 of them, not just one, where one of them leaked out everything. I think it leaked out they've got bubonic plague over there, which, yes, that can go in some different places from rats, but honestly, it makes buboes on your skin. If you're not familiar with that, if you look under your arm and in different places and there's a big bulb and it's like black or purple or whatever, that's bubonic plague. But they have a cure for that. That's not, it sounds bad because a lot of people died, but since Nostradamus came up with what he did, and then they didn't give him credit, just like Nikola Tesla, but he did cure it with a natural antibiotic, which is cedar oil and rose hips and so a few other things, and he made it into a pill, and he wrapped it in rose petals, made a pill, and put it under their tongue, sublingual, and he had something like a 90 or 95% success rate in curing people. And they figured out later how to synthetically make antibiotics from Nostradamus. So other than him gazing into a bowl of water and seeing things, becoming a seer, which is real, and that's in the Bible too. And there's also a whole interconnected web that we're all part of, that they've proven exists, that you can upload or download information into yourself from. So he was linked in likely to that, but he used a gazing bowl to become into a meditative state. But anyhow, he gave us antibiotics. Antibiotics cures the bubonic plague, so there's no reason to worry even if you got that, but you want to get treated immediately because you could die from it. So other than that, but I think that China lost all of their diseases that they were doing research on. I think the entire lab was breached. I think they had a containment breach of some sort, and I think all of it leaked out because they've got a new swine flu. They've got the regular swine flu, but they got a new swine flu. They have a worse virus right now than even COVID-19, and they're not even wanting to say that it's COVID-19 that has now turned into like the 1918 Spanish flu turned into the 1919 one, and that was deadly. They haven't even gone that far. They're just saying it's a whole new one. So I think it's another virus that got out of that lab. I think that whole lab was a containment breach. I think that was the explosion that maybe after it leaked they blew it up because there was an explosion over there. that a bunch of helicopters came in and dropped something that was their army in Wuhan, and people have video of the aftermath of it. They tried to say it was a gas leak, but I don't believe that. Not at the same time helicopters fly over. It's like a bunch of army helicopters fly over that they normally don't do that, and there's an explosion, and they drop something. No, they blew that place to hell. So, which could have led to the rest of the breach. It could have been just COVID-19, and then they blew it up, and now it's everything. But the question is China? They're definitely doing everything to keep Wuhan from being flooded, even people downstream that are being flooded out and dying because of them opening up the gates. And that entire dam, that I think they call it the Three Gorges Dam, whatever it is, moved. The whole dam moved. It has shifted. They said it shifted, and it also is distorted and moved. So they're going to lose that whole dam. Like the whole damn place is going to get flooded. They're going to lose the whole dam. And it's just a matter of time. They already said it was ticking time bomb years ago because it was old infrastructure and stuff. But even that dam, it was never good in the first place. And that tea always makes me cough, in case you're wondering. I ain't even had my cigar yet, but that dam, they expected it to go years ago. But now these floods, and who knows if it's geoengineering, and if it's man, who would say that it's get back for this, you know, who, but yeah, they're being flooded like hell, and they're having to open up dams, and they had to blow up with charges a few dams and a few levees to let more water downstream, even though it flooded more people's villages, to protect Wuhan. They're protecting Wuhan at all costs right now. And it's all because of not the level 4 safety labs, but they have a super secret that you don't know about and I don't know about, but now we know about it. Army facility, we'll say that. Plus, they've been boring holes in this mountain, and they've bored over 100 tunnels into a mountain, and they have submarines that go into those tunnels. That's how big they are. So these are well chiseled holes that were bored. Hold on, let me turn that CB down. That's annoying. Turn the whole thing off. I feel like I'm yelling about some stuff. So, over 100 tunnels, and still going as of 2 years ago, that they're making this mountain into Swiss cheese, basically, and so that they can have submarines go into it. It's a base for submarines, and they keep making more and more submarines. And the question is, what are they going to do with that? Well, we know what they're going to do with that. They're going to start some shit. So while they're preparing for war, all their scientists are quitting. It's not a coincidence. The most intelligent people in that country are quitting the country. It's not a coincidence. So I think they're getting the hell out while they're getting good. I think that they know something's fixing to pop off that's going to be big. They don't want to be in China. China's not known, even though they're big and they have those Shaolin monks that think that they can fight, and then they get beat up by MMA fighters and all that because it's fake. And that really pisses off China. So yeah, China, we know about your fake martial arts. It's all fake. So I'll put up a link. I'll go show some of the videos. I'll put up a link to that too, where Shaolin monks who are taught Kung Fu, who are supposed to be the best at it, go into an MMA fight and they get their ass kicked in like 2 seconds, and they sit there wondering what the hell happened there. You know. Well, they've never been one for fighting. Basically, they found a way a long time ago, which is why they wound up losing Hong Kong in the first place. there was a war with China a long time ago. You may not know a lot about, and they wound up defeating China by getting them all hooked on opium. And then they said, please don't have us hooked on opium anymore, because they wanted cheaper tea. They were getting the tea from China. Well, what happened was they gave up Hong Kong, and they gave cheaper tea to Europe. Well, at that time, I'm not sure if that was the exact same time, but Japan was warring with them too. And there was a couple of guys from Japan, it's my understanding, I'll have to look this up to see if it's correct or not, but that they were taking all these Chinese prisoners and killing them. And so they killed so many, and they wanted to have a competition that the two Japanese guys who were supposed to be good swordsmiths and this kind of stuff had a competition of how many Chinese heads they could cut off, and who was the fastest to cut off 100 Chinese heads. And they put it in a paper and they sent it back to Japan and said, look at what we did over in China. It kind of pisses China off to bring that up too. Sorry, China, if I brought up something that you don't like, we don't like your virus petition. And both of them went at it fast as they could, and they cut off 200 Chinese heads, 100 apiece. One of them won, and they had bragging rights, and they put it in the newspaper in Japan, and it was publicized everywhere. So there's that. China's not really all that well known for their previous wars. They have a big wall to keep people out. It's kind of good, but didn't keep the virus out. And it can't keep their scientists from clamoring over the top of it to get the hell out. And they're having a difficult time casting their net of communism over it to all encompass Hong Kong. So there's that. So China, the rest of the world does not appreciate you not taking care of that virus and keeping it secret and all that. And so it's the CCP virus because it's the CCP's fault, not the people. But there's that. And for all the 50 centers out there, the 50 cent army, because they get paid 50 cent for wasting people's time for each individual interaction on the internet. When they waste your time and make comments to you that are trashy and whatever, and they're spies, well, to all the 50 centers, you can make comments here, but they'll be blocked. Ain't nobody got a time for your $50 bullshit. So there's that. All right, so if anybody wants to make any comments while I'm and alien craft and stuff, let's see here. Have you heard anything about the soldiers that went into Mount Cheyenne when the coronavirus came out? Are they still locked in there, and why? If they sent them in there, they probably have a job to do by staying there to keep them from getting it. Someone said we were war with China, they just haven't told us yet. They said that's why they have locked us down. No international travel. Oh, no, that's to try to keep the, see, they have a lot more plagues and all kinds of shit over there. It would overwhelm our medical system to have a bunch of bubonic plague, their new pig virus that's everywhere, and we can't afford for it to hit our pigs, and that kind of shit. And so basically I think they lost their entire level 4 biolab. And yeah, I think we've been at war with China for a long time, and it very well could be that all the flooding they're having over there could be the other shoe dropped. That's where I'm at on that. Now, everybody's different and they can think what they want, but yeah, weather warfare is real. So there's that. But they've said that this is the worst flooding, they say, forever in China, but that's not true, because if you look back, I think it was I don't know how many years before Christ was Confucius. Confucius wrote and copied other people's texts. It's my understanding that he was the one that copied them. Someone copied them. And from the time of a leader that was like a few dynasties back, there was a leader that in his time, they wrote little things about each leader and what was known about them. And it was written on this bamboo paper. That was a whole bunch of pieces of bamboo, slivers of bamboo tied together with string, and they wrote on it. Well, what they recorded and then re-recorded, and then even that re-recording is something like, a couple thousand years old now, about what, 15, 25, maybe 2,500 years old. I'm not sure how old it is, but that writing is so old that it needs to be rewritten now. But it's a copy of our earlier writing. And the earlier writing said that there was flooding, this is what that ruler was known for. That in his time, they would say, in this one's time, there was, prosperous and it was good. In this time, we did this. In this time, there was a war. Well, in this guy's time, in this ruler's time, the one thing that was notable was all of China was flooded entirely, including up to the mountains. No one could escape it. They told the governor that they needed him to do something about it. They fired him because he was ineffective. The actual what would they call him? The emperor. The emperor fired him because he was ineffectual. They hired another guy. He had some luck with building some levees and something just for one little farm or something. I don't know. But everybody fled to the mountains. So that's almost like a Noah flood event. Okay, maybe not quite that bad, but close. So something happened that was worse than this, and it's written down on these. You can't really call them scrolls. I guess they do roll up, but they're made on bamboo, and they're so old that even the copies are millennia old there. So let's see. My comments go away, by the way. Let's go back here. Somehow maybe messing with them. Oh, not just that too. As it turns out, let's go to Iran real quick. One of our senators once famously said, "Bomb, bomb, 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 Iran." No, I'm not calling for that, but he really said that. That was said. That was said. He's gone now. But there's that. That would be Wet Start Johnny that let off the fire on that boat, and there you go. So John McCain, he said that. I didn't. I'm just quoting him. But let's go to Iran for a second, and then I'll get off this thing. Iran is mysteriously, I believe it's Iran, if I'm not mistaken, is mysteriously having explosions at their nuclear places. All of their super secret nuclear places that we don't know about, that you don't know about, that I don't know about, but now you know about it. Yeah, they're having issues. It's like explosion here, explosion there, explosion everywhere. Who knew, right? Well, so that happened, and that was in the news. I'm pretty sure that was Iran. I've been mistaken before, but I'll have to find that link. Don't believe me until you see the link. But my links are better than my lives anyhow, and it will be informative. I'm not going to put it up tonight. I'll find it tomorrow night. All of my links on this video, I'm not, unless I just happenstance find one that I just looked at and I talked about, I'm not putting up no links. I'll put them up tomorrow. Just trust me on my word. And I'll find the one with Popular Mechanics or Popular Science, either one, where the Pentagon admitted that we have a spacecraft capable of space flight that's not from our planet that they have possession of. So, yes, they are burning. I heard it might be Israel or us. Well, I will never be the one to say either one of them or any of it or anything like that. But payback's a bitch. That's all I'm saying. I will say that. And karma is one too. Karma's something. It goes around, comes around. Yeah, that's how that goes. You know, you play stupid games and you get stupid prizes. So Israel's awesome. Israel was like, really? You're going to let Nazis go? We're not. You know, Israel's pretty awesome like that. And I appreciate whoever it was in Israel that made the plastic that I now have on my greenhouse. Much appreciated. Thank you, Israel. It's awesome. So hopefully, just like the Passover, hopefully all this will pass over. We shall see. But they've said that they believe it's already mutated however many times. Even if they came up with a virus, well, I wouldn't take it. But even if they came up with a vaccine, wouldn't take the vaccine. It won't be for all of them, because just like the regular flu, they have to have 1 or 2 versions of it, and then that might not protect you. If there's 100 different viruses of this coronavirus, one vaccine ain't going to do it. And I don't trust Bill or Melinda Gates, and they might have all the money in the world, but buying their way into medical does not make them a physician, a doctor, practicing doctor of any sort. He's a college dropout. Sorry. I don't trust any medical advice from a non-medical person. And even then, I look at that shit sideways and don't trust it either. Let's see what we got here. Oh, forget you mentioned it. Yeah, they might forget me for mentioning it. And I don't want to be forgotten. So they might forget me. I might become forgot. They might... Look, I'm going to say this too. I just want people to know. Just so y'all know. First let me tell my joke. This is you might like this, people. When that Ghislaine or Giselle or Jesus, I don't even know her name, whatever her name is, Ghislaine, Gristle Girl. I'm gonna call her Gristle Girl because that's just funny and that sticks. When Gristle Girl found out, Gristle Girl Maxwell found out that they were going to keep her in jail and not give her bond, she nearly Epsteined herself in her pants. Just saying that. I'm just that she almost Epsteined her pants. And in the end of it all, they said it's for her benefit that they keep her in jail, because she could be suicidal. Yeah, Gristle Girl. Just like I said, she actually could be safer in jail because they think she could be suicidal, and if they let her out now, she might go to a park, shoot herself 17 times in the back of the head, and Epstein out of here. So it's for her benefit that they keep her in jail, because if she shot herself like 17 or 18 times in the back of the head and committed suicide, that would be bad. You know, these people, they're known to spontaneously combust. They're known to spontaneously, Epstein out. And so she's probably telling them everything. Yeah, I bet she's telling everybody everything. Is everybody that can keep her safe. She probably done joined up with a group of people in the jail to protect her. I'm just saying. They're probably having different times that they watch. But yeah, they'll turn the cameras off though at a certain time, just whenever they. I'm just saying, the cameras go off. Does everybody know how much money that woman had? Listen, Forbes don't tell you shit. Forbes never admits to real rich people. You'll never see richest man alive in a picture of the Rothschilds or the Rockefeller. No. You see this person or that person. Right now they're saying it's Bill Gates and then some other dude from some like, I think a Shah of a country or something. That's all bullshit. There were people who even back in the 70s had millions and millions and millions. Okay? Right now, they said that Gristle Girl Maxwell, they said that they found multiple bank accounts in multiple banks, all of them having millions of dollars, 2 million in this one coming in, and really they're only financially, the FDIC insurance is only up to 100,000 of each bank account. So really, she's even taking a risk in all of them. But so, so she has, who knows about offshore places, and then they asked her where she lived and who owned, or they knew where she lived. They said, well, who owns that house, that big, huge, whatever. And she said, oh, I don't know. It's a corporation that owns it. I don't know who owns it, but they let me live there. It's like, what? So she doesn't know who owns the house she lives in, but they found out she's the world's first bojillionaire. I'm making it up out of thin air. It's a new number. It's so much money. It's not infinity, but it's right below it. So she's a bojillionaire. She got so much damn money, she's a bojillionaire. I don't know how many billions and billions and trillions that it adds up to a bojillion, but she's got a bojillion dollars. And in the end, they may never find where all she's got money. And yes, she had 3 passports from different countries. That's what I'm talking about. So she's like MasterCard. She's accepted everywhere. And she was doing some dirty shit, and she was allowing children to be treated bad by Epstein, and she was going and getting them, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly to all that. So if you find me in a park with 17 shots in the back, look, I did not shoot myself in the back 50 yards away from myself and commit suicide, just so y'all know. But Gristle Girl, they're keeping her from doing that because they think she might be in danger of harming herself. Okay, and she got more money than Pedro Lefty, and that's just a whole nother joke between me and this other guy that looks for gold and stuff. And so there you go, and he talked about that. There was a guy with a gold bar, and they said, how many are there? And he said, there's enough for you, me, and adios. For you and me and God, there's enough gold there. That's what he told him. So I called him Pedro Lefty for short. So she got more money than Pedro Lefty. Just saying. There's that. The New Hampshire what? Of all places. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how in America we know somebody's doing bad, but they're allowed to live here. I ain't trying to, I don't know. Lots of protection money they've been spending to a lot of people to keep them in where they live. And so there's that. But yeah, evidently that green tea, I don't know, I like it, but it makes me cough. Cigars don't even make me cough. Just saying. Or I'm COVIDed up. Who knows? Or I might even be like, you know, Epsteined up. I might have like a whole bunch of gunshots in my back. I don't even know it yet. I ain't felt them. So I'm reaching back there now. I don't know. And I don't find them. So everybody, I hope you're doing good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Little update on stuff and things and stuff. And I think that, I think China is not going to be any more. I think that the entire country is going to fold in like a deck of cards. All the nuclear scientists are leaving. I think that Iran is next to follow suit. I don't think they have the money to support their bullshit. And I think that all of the other countries are calling in their markers and they're not helping them no more. And also, I believe that there's going to have to be a new government in the area that China used to be. And they're not known well for their fighting, but they do have nuclear capabilities. So they would probably, honestly, just like their lab, they'd probably hit the button and blow themselves up. I think they'd blow themselves up. That's where I'm at. Not saying their stuff wouldn't work, just saying they are some geniuses. They it's like, damn, you know, they release some stuff that's deadly to the people. I think part of it is that the people have low vitamin D. So take vitamin D pills and get sunlight, but your body blocks that, especially if you got any kind of dark skin. I'm somewhere in between. So yeah, so take vitamin D and elderberry and vitamin C, but especially vitamin D. And you want to take like something like 2,300 or 2,500 units, which is about 4 or 5 of those little pills a day, every day. You can watch, the doctor says that out of England. Don't take my advice on it. I'm not telling you what to take, but Dr. John Campbell, he's on YouTube and he's talking about it. He's writing the book on this coronavirus stuff. So yeah, so China's a foregone conclusion. First, they're going to be washed off the map. Second, all the scientists leaving and all, they won't have much of a CCP. And there's people that are publicly in America and in other places getting on TV and saying, my name is this, I'm leaving the Communist Party, I don't believe in their this and that and whatever, and all that's going on. And that's a big deal. They take people out for that. So yeah, it's a crazy world we live in, and it's changing. It's changing rapidly. So rapidly that now we're admitting that we have alien craft. So again, if they need help working on it, I'd love to see it and work on it. But I'm gonna get off this thing. Y'all stay safe. Hopefully nobody will Epstein you up and Corona you up, and everybody be able to watch the next video. Y'all stay safe. I'm out. Share my stuff. Click like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Put it everywhere. And we just talk about stuff right here. So, hey, sometimes there's somebody on the back row trying to put a truck on a trailer that they ain't got no business putting on, with jacks and horses and cables. I thought the Amish was going to come over and help them for a minute. I really did. There was one old man that was just dying to come over and say, let me show you how to do that. And then he probably had an answer. They're smart people too. Anyhow, hopefully we won't all be living Amish. Hopefully we can avoid the WW with the 3 next to it, and times will be good. But yeah, as far as the war thing with China, well, they gave us this shit and it's deadly. So yeah, I would definitely say there's something going on. Stay safe. I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm out. Peace.